Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And this week we're starting with some sad news. On the 13th, the Osaka World Expo has shut down, and as a result, the Gundam Pavilion has also shut down, taking the life-sized RX-78F00/E Gundam with it. And so far, we don't have any word on what's gonna happen with it. And that is a real shame because it of course was a really cool statue, even though it couldn't really move anymore. It just had some steam emitters on it to make it at least a little bit impressive. I think it would be cool if they installed it in Shizuoka, where the original RX-78-2 statue was, but we'll just have to wait and see, because at the same time, there's also a good chance that we won't get any update on it. Because as far as I know, we never did get an update on that original RX-78-2 statue that I just mentioned. The thing could be in storage, ready to be displayed again, or it could be scrapped, never to be seen again. What they did tell us though is that we can pre-order the main bad guy from the movie as an adorable plushie from Shop Nui. You can get the Zeong Type MA in its entirety for 3,850 yen, 22 US, or you can get just the head for 5,280 yen, 30 US. And as the price indicates, the head is bigger and more detailed than the full plushie. But yeah, the perfect thing to get for a mass-murdering mobile armor, which technically didn't do any mass murder because the leaflet said that most of the mobile suits flying around that it killed were either remote-controlled or AI, so it mostly shot down unmanned machines. Mostly. Anyways, since we're talking about a plushie, let's have a look at the rest of the figure news, starting with a funny coincidence. Last week I mentioned that the Iron-Blooded Orphans gang used to be represented as mice quite a bit back in the day. And this week they announced a 1:1 scale Mika and Orga Iron-Blooded Orphanchu 10th anniversary set. It features Mika as a black mouse featuring a cob of corn, and Orga as a white mouse wielding a Tekadon spork. The set is slated for an April release and goes for 16,500 yen, 94 US. Also, the name Orphanchu comes from the fact that chew is the sound that a mouse makes in Japanese, so it's the same chew as Pikachu and Raichu. And in January, you can get even more adorable things. The Narabundesu Zaku Gachapon series. These go for 400 yen a spin, a little over 2 US, and you can get one of 5 super deformed Zakus. Char Zaku 2 with a bazooka, a Zaku 2 commander type with a machine gun, which I think was inspired by that one infamous commander type that appeared during the 3rd movie, the one that pushed out another Zaku onto the battlefield, only to get blown up himself by a stray missile. Then there's also a standard Zaku with a machine gun, a standard Zaku 2 with a bazooka, and a standard Zaku 2 with a machine gun and the 3-tube missile launchers on the legs. As for the name of the series then, it translates to something like "we're lined up," as in you can put these little guys in your own formation. And I wonder if we're gonna get more Gundam series from this Narabundesu series, because it would be cool to either see more Zakus in this series, or see a Federation counterpart with the Gundam, the gun cannon, the gun tank, and then some gyms. Next up then, there was another really cute figure, but in a very different way. The B-style Lunamaria Hawke bunny version Gundam Seed Destiny version. She was announced a little while ago, but now she's gone up for pre-order on Japanese Premium Bandai, so we also got all of her details. This 1/4 scale figure will set you back a whopping 38,500 yen, 218 US, and she comes with real fishnet stockings, making this one hell of an impressive figure. And you can make her even more impressive by displaying her alongside the Mir and Lacus bunny figures, which are from the same line. So quite the collection, which can be yours in May. And we're getting even more expensive stuff in March, which is when the Metal Build Force Impulse Gundam is releasing for 41,800 yen, 237 US. And to make this thing that little bit extra expensive and hard to get, it's not just a Japanese Premium Bandai limited thing, it's also a lottery sale item. But if you do manage to get your hands on this, it is promising to be the most detailed Impulse Gundam ever. The surface detailing is exquisite, the paint job is fantastic, and the amount of sliding armor panels is truly remarkable. It's pretty normal to have like sliding knee armor, but even the front skirts have gotten some movement here. Like, you can really put this thing in some dynamic poses. And the attention to detail is also extended to the accessories. The 4 silhouette can fold up completely, the shield has its usual extending mechanism, and the Excalibur, which is included to replicate the fight against the Freedom, can now be put in 3 different modes. You can have it in normal mode, extended mode, which also comes with a longer beam blade effect part, and I guess what we could call full burst mode, which is extended but with an extra powerful beam effect part that also covers the tip of the Excalibur. As for the rest of the accessories, we've also got 2 folding razors, a beam rifle that can be stored on the backpack, 2 beam sabers with beam saber blade effect parts, 2 missiles for the core splendor, and an action base that can be used with the Impulse in both its mobile suit mode and transformed mode. Or, I guess based on how the Impulse launches, the mobile suit mode is the transformed mode. But anyways, it can transform without parts forming. The only thing missing here is a set of landing gear. And finally, if you still have some money left after all of that, they also announced the Chogokin glass feather unit for the Chogokin RX-78F00/E Gundam. But more details are yet to be announced, although I can already tell you that it probably won't be cheap. Somewhat related to the figure news then, is this Char Zaku 2 light book. It's a small Char Zaku 2 head that can act as a decorative light with 3 different modes. Mode 1 lights up just the head, Mode 2 lights up the head and the mono eye, and Mode 3 lights up just the mono eye. And this little thing can be yours on November the 17th for 4,389 yen, 25 US. For the Gunpla then, we just got a kit announced that I'm actually surprised we didn't get earlier. The Premium Bandai Limited high-grade RX-78F00 7th Gundam. So we got the full armor 7th Gundam way back in 2009, and that thing could not be changed into its standard form. So back then, I figured that it was only going to be a matter of time before we got that standard version. A matter of time being a matter of 16 years. But thanks to all of that time passing, this model kit does promise to be a complete overhaul, with brand new parts and some really cool new features. For example, the shoulders have a much wider range of movement, and the knees now have a separating armor gimmick. What I do find a bit funny though, is that they advertise both the beam rifle and the shield as being made with completely new parts. But if you look at the details, I feel like they're almost one-to-one with the old versions, so I feel like they did reuse the 3D data for those. And well, why fix what ain't broken? The only change I could find was with the connection of the shield, but that is something they could have edited on the 3D files. And in December, all of this can be yours for 2,200 yen, 12 US. And also limited to Premium Bandai is the Master Grade Extreme Strike Freedom Gundam Mechanical Clear version. It can be yours in January for 18,700 yen, 106 US, and it's the Master Grade Extreme Strike Freedom Gundam, but now with a bunch of clear parts. I'm usually not the biggest fan of clear kits, but I can definitely see why you would want clear armor parts on a kit as impressive as the Master Grade Extreme. Sometimes it's just so sad when you're building a model kit with a fantastic inner frame and then you gotta cover it up with armor parts. But now you can still admire that inner frame in its full glory, even with all of the armor on. And equally glorious is the Master Grade Gundam Base Limited Hyaku Shiki version 2.0 mechanical core plating. This one can be yours on the 25th for 17,600 yen, 100 US, and it is a very different kind of clear kit. The armor parts are still clear, but they have a shiny finish applied to them on the inside, which creates a very unique appearance. And apparently this really is one of those things that you gotta see in real life to experience the full effect, because the images apparently really don't do it justice, at least from what I've read online. And talking about the Gundam base, the first permanent American Gundam base will be coming this winter. It'll be located at the Fashion Outlets of Chicago, in Chicago, but more details are yet to be announced. I have no doubt though that a lot of limited edition Gunpla kits will be sold there. And this week we also got a China limited Gunpla release, the Master Grade PHANTACI Freedom Gundam version J. This kit is releasing in May for 676 yuan, 94 US, and as you could guess from the name, it's made in collaboration with PHANTACI. So I guess that version J stands for version J Cho, who is the founder of PHANTACI. As for the kit itself, it's based on the Master Grade Freedom Gundam version 2.0, but it's now mostly in black with some really cool golden and clear pink highlights. And on top of that, it also comes with some pink marking stickers featuring the PHANTACI logo. And I gotta say, this is definitely one stylish looking Freedom Gundam. And you'll be able to build all this Gunpla to some great Gundam tunes, because 2 new Gundam CDs were also announced. First up, releasing on November 19th for 3,850 yen, 22 US, is the Yoshikazu Yasuhiko Anime Music Collection. The set has 2 CDs and features songs from all of the milestone anime that he's worked on, going from Brave Raiden all the way up to Kukuru's the One's Island. So we've got songs from the original Gundam, Zeta Gundam, Crusher Joe, Venus Wars, F91, The Origin, and more. And you can get even more Zeta Gundam songs on the Zeta Gundam Symphonic Suite CD. Performed by the Sendai Philharmonic Orchestra, this CD is available in 2 versions. There's the regular version for 3,520 yen, 20 US, which comes with just the CD, and the limited edition for 6,380 yen, 36 US, which comes with a bonus DVD case, a booklet, and then a sleeve to put it all in. On to the anime news then, where of course the big new thing was the trailer for Hathaway, the Sorcery of Nymph Circe, which I'll of course have linked down below in case you haven't watched it yet. And it is definitely setting the tone for what's gonna happen during the movie. The title alone already hinted at Gigi playing a pretty big role during the events of the movie, and we definitely see this returning in the trailer. I felt like we saw more Gigi than Hathaway, and on the official website, they're even saying that it's pretty much her who's going to determine the outcome of the upcoming events. She weighs heavily on Hathaway's mind, meaning that his actions will at least be partially influenced by her, and Kenneth Slegg also finds himself in the same maelstrom. And this is then yet again reinforced by the promotional image that we got. We've got Hathaway about to be grabbed by Gigi's hand, and Kenneth also seems to be within reach. And what I really like about this poster is like how her hand is turning into a mobile suit hand, showing that Hathaway is influenced by both Gigi and his duty as a mobile suit pilot as Mafty. As for how long we'll have to wait to see it in cinemas, in Japan they're getting it on January the 30th, and in the USA they'll get it at an as of yet undetermined date. But at the very least, there is confirmation that the movie will be shown in theaters across the country. And, well, I'm not expecting it to take too long after the Japanese premiere. Meanwhile, on the gaming front, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the Jagan Burnham type has joined the fray, while on Steam the Bergagiro's Black Vanguard has become available. In UC Engage, we got an event unit assembly for the UR Machu Marcello and his UR Zaku 3 Custom, as well as a Battle Rush EX event featuring the Zeong, and in SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, the Stardust Memory Part 2 story event has gone live. Also giving us units like the SSR GPO3 Dendrobium, the SSR GPO4, and the SSR Neue Ziel, which comes with Anival Gato. Plus, the game reached number 1 on certain storefronts, giving everyone 3,000 diamonds, and they announced that Iron-Blooded Orphan Stories will be dropping on the 31st. There's the second part of the main story, but the real things to look out for are the side stories. These are going to be special stories focusing on certain individual characters on the series, and they're promising to come with astonishing animation scenes. Now, they don't specify if these scenes are new or if they're taken from the anime, but since they're talking about them so highly, I feel like we can assume that they're new scenes. After all, Gundam Seed got new scenes, and it's Iron-Blooded Orphans' 10th anniversary. And in other news, Gundam has launched a collaboration with Dandy Chocolate to celebrate its 21st anniversary. For the collaboration, they're launching a new chocolate sandwich in an appropriately themed red packaging, but unfortunately, I'm not seeing Char on the actual package. Like, he appears in the promotional images and on the quo card that you can win through the official website, Japan only, but you would also expect him to be on the actual package of the new item to boost sales. But what he's also going to be appearing in is a special promotional video that will go live on the 20th. They did already give the link to this video, so I will have it linked down below, but it is private until the 20th. As for the things you could get this week then, on the 11th, the entry-grade Wing Gundam was released in Japan for 1,100 yen, 6 US, and I got mine delivered literally right before I started recording, so definitely looking forward to building that thing and to see like how it compares to the high grade. And in about 2 weeks, I'll have it featured in a video. On the 13th then, you could gacha for the Mobile Suit Gundam Gachapon Senshi Diecast Gunkeshi Gold and Silver, with Gunkeshi being a portmanteau of Gundam and Keshi Gomu, the Japanese word for eraser. These figures were originally released in the 80s as erasers that you could put on the end of your pencil, and now for 500 yen a spin, a little under 3 US, you can get a die-cast version of the RX-78 Gun Cannon, Gun Tank, Char Zaku 2, regular Zaku 2, or Zakrello in either gold or silver coloring. And then finally on the 16th, you could test out both your luck and your skills at Japanese arcades for this Machu casual closed version prize figure. She's holding onto a Haro, and she does feel better than the non-casual closed version that was released last week. What has unfortunately remained the same though is the sloppy editing of the promotional image with the background removed. Someone really wanted to get out of the office that day, and they apparently left quality control to the legally blind guy. For this week's reading material then, there was another collaboration with the Oyoge 9 webcomic, and it features one of the characters remembering that a horn is what turns a mobile suit into a commander machine, which is then followed by him building a team consisting of only commander machines, being Char Zaku 2, Char's Gelgook, and the Goof. As for the apparel news then, Bankote kicked things off on the 10th with pre-orders for a bunch of Happy Claw things, which is like an online gachapon thing for acrylic stuff that goes for 880 yen a spin, 5 US. First up from Iron-Blooded Orphans, we have some standard acrylic keychains, but also some Tsunagyuto acrylic stand keychains. These can be used as either an acrylic stand or as a keychain, and they have their hand reached out to invite you to go do something. Gundam Wing then is a bit more forceful with their Kabedon acrylic stand keychains. Again, these can be used as either an acrylic stand or a keychain, but their illustrations are now based on the famous Kabedon, which is confessing your love for someone while you pin them against the wall. And I really love how each character has their own individual way of doing this, which really fits with their character. Hiro and Troa are pretty much emotionless, Katra almost looks apologetic for pushing you against the wall, Wu Fei is just gonna steal your lunch money, Zex is being smooth, Trace doesn't even have to pin you against the wall, he's just offering you some flowers, like the class act that he is. And then we have Duo, who's giving me some serious serial killer vibes. I'm pretty sure that the finger over his mouth is supposed to be all cute and whatnot, but for me, it just reminds me of the killer, telling his victim to be quiet. Shh, it'll all be over soon. And all of these will be shipping out in December. And for the Gundam Wing ones specifically, they're available as both regular acrylic things and holographic acrylic things. And shipping out in January are these G.L.R.S. acrylic stands and acrylic keychains. The designs are the same for both things, but here they are two separate products, like you either get a stand or you get an acrylic keychain, unlike those combo things from the Gundam Wing set and the Iron-Blooded Orphan set. And we've got some more Gundam Wing things shipping out in December, which is of course perfect for the series, especially for Endless Waltz. From the TV series, you can get the main characters on a tapestry for 3,300 yen, 19 US, a face towel for 2,200 yen, 12 US, a mini cushion for 2,530 yen, 14 US, and an acrylic keychain for 990 yen, 6 US. Or you can get the upgraded Gundams or the Epion on a t-shirt for 4,400 yen, 25 US. And then from Endless Waltz, you can get an acrylic logo display EX with the Gundam Wing 30th anniversary logo for 1,320 yen, 7 US. And finally from Bankore, shipping out in February, is this medicine bookcase that's going for 3,960 yen, 22 US. It's available in Federation Blue, Red Comet Red, and Zombie Green. And the first thing I noticed is that you can't actually put any actual medicine in it. But it does hold everything else that you need in Japan to go to either the doctor or the hospital, like a pen, a medicine notebook, insurance cards, and notes you receive from the doctor or the hospital, etc, etc, etc. And from Strict G then, we got even more Gundam Wing things. First up, from Endless Waltz, you can get the Gundam team, or their Gundams, on an acrylic keychain for 1,650 yen each, 9 US, or a Wing Zero custom towel for 3,300 yen, 19 US, all of which will be hitting physical Strict G stores on the 18th. And then from the TV series, we've got this really cool pin set for 5,500 yen, 31 US. And I gotta say, out of all of the pin sets that I've seen so far from Strict G, this has to be the best one. And I'm not just saying that out of nostalgia, like we've got one big pin featuring Hira and Relena on the left, and then 5 smaller pins featuring the Gundam pilots on the right that together form the W from Gundam Wing. Like, it all comes together really nicely. And this set will be available from physical Strict G stores on November the 1st. And let's wrap things up with the giant Gundam poll that's being held at the new Gundam official website. From now until December the 25th, you'll be able to vote on your favorite Gundam once a day, and the winner will get a new illustration. And unlike the older polls, this one is available in 10 different languages, so I'll definitely have it linked down below. As for the Gundams you can vote on then, it's pretty much any Gundam that's ever been animated, but there are some asterisks. Some series aren't included, like I don't think they have any SD Gundams, and some machines aren't included. And for the sake of the poll, they went with the rule of, if it's called a Gundam, it's a Gundam. Unfortunately though, Setsuna isn't included on the list, so I'm just gonna have to alternate my votes between the Gundam Mark II Titans version and the Strike Noir. But that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.